Hey Rob, how's it going?
Going good, Jim. How you doing over there?
Very good. I have a good topic for us today for those
All right,
watching.
I'm
All
ready.
right, so we always talk about international moving. Let's talk about the actual moving. For those of you who don't know, a lot to go into the process. So, Rob, can you explain how everything is handled, loaded, all of that? We're talking about something being shipped from the US all the way over to, and everybody can fill in their own blank.
Great. Yeah, so there are a number of steps, right? So, and sometimes the client may think, oh, it's just we're going to ship it. Like I'm going to take it to UPS and ship it, and it gets to my house. But in international moving, door-to-door service, yeah, there are a lot of steps. There is packing of the boxes or not. Client can opt to pack their own boxes and save some money. There is furniture. If there's furniture going to be going, there's disassembly of furniture, wrapping and protecting properly. Furniture, we're going to wrap and protect a metal filing cabinet a little differently than, a 19th century curio cabinet or something that's glass. But it has to be done the right way. If there's any disassembly of furniture that has to be done, I think I mentioned that. And then from there, everything has to get onto the boat. I'm assuming we're talking about ocean shipping now. So
Yeah.
once that is done, now everything's boxed, wrapped, protected. Everything's prepped and ready to go the right way. It's nice. We've got to get it onto the boat. And again, let's assume there's a container here. We're talking container size move, what we call FCL, full container load. So then we've got to get everything into a container, and the container has to get onto the boat. A couple different ways, and this is important because this is again where our folks get involved, and we really try to find the right solution. One way to get the client's goods into the container is what we call a live load. Live load is when we're going to have the container pulled up to the client's home or wherever it's being picked up, and our team then shows up and loads everything and protects and make sure it's not going to move around. All of that directly into the container. Again, that's called live loading.
Mm.
When we're all done, doors are closed, locked, seals put on there, picture of that taken, and it is then hauled to the terminal to go onto the. It could be a dry terminal like a train, if it's not near a port, or to the ocean terminal port, and from there it goes right on the boat. Boat ships. So that's a live load, really important. Contrast live load is also contrasted where we can't do that with what we call double handling. Double handling is when, for whatever reason, we can't do a live load. I can get into that in a minute. But double handling means our team still shows up, but in a proper moving truck of adequate size to handle everything, or moving trucks. And they are loaded, everything's protected the same way, and taken to our facility, our depot, unloaded. Container goes there because a container certainly can go there.
Yeah.
Reloaded, same process, right? Now, why would we do a double handle? Because obviously, if you're going to pick something up, unload it, and then reload it, call that double handling, even though really it's triple handling. That's going to cost more because it just takes more time, and it's pretty obvious, I think. The reason why we would do that is if a container, for whatever reason, can't be brought to the client's home or not even
Mm.
close. Like, for example, high in the Hollywood Hills where the roads snake all around and there's just no way you're going to get a truck up there and back down. I mean, you have to back down or something.
Yeah.
It could be something as simple as low power lines all over the place. So you can't even really get
Mm.
close to the house. Could be something as simple as low trees, branches. So
Yeah.
sometimes those things happen. No possible way to park a container in Midtown Manhattan.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I was just thinking of that.
yeah, someone's in Manhattan, and I'm thinking about a 40-foot container. There's
Wow.
no
Yeah.
way I'm going to be doing a live load. I mean, they'd assume I'm a terrorist right away. So then we'd have to do the double handling. So that's kind of the process. It's going to be the packing, wrapping, protecting. Packing,
Yeah.
of course, being optional. The loading, one way or the other, loading the goods into a container, container is taken to the port in one way or another. And then it's loaded onto the boat ships, customs is cleared, items are brought to the client's new location in the foreign country, fill in the blank here.
Yeah. Yeah. And technically, I guess you would have to say then that the same possible issue could exist on the receiving side in another country
Good point.
where there's no way to get that container onto a truck and directly to the home.
Yep.
Because of, low power lines, or, last mile to the house is usually by horseback. I mean, I
Well,
can
yeah,
imagine all
I
kinds of
mean,
situations.
absolutely. There are lots of reasons for that as well. So countries like, well, there's certain countries out there that maybe the roads aren't the best.
Yeah.
And perhaps the destination location is sort of out far away. The roads aren't the best, and it's a rainy season, so there's mud, and no way that we're hauling a container. No way. So then, it has to be offloaded and loaded into a proper moving truck and taken. It could be the Manhattan, New York scenario, whether it's in Berlin or London or Dublin, Ireland. The streets are so narrow, it's hard to fit a bicycle down those things. I know. There's no way. And even then, it goes a step further. A lot of places in Europe, this is why we really have to evaluate everything from start to finish ahead of time.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you can't even put a moving truck. Any places in Dublin, Ireland that I've been to, that you're not going to get a moving truck up some of these streets. You're going to have to, what we use is, we call it a shuttle. So we're going to have multiple shuttles, or we're going to shuttle back and forth from wherever we have set the proper moving truck or trucks. So ways to do it. It's not always as simple as we're going to show up, live load, get it on the boat, boom, over and over and out. But ideally, we try to do that if at all possible, and it makes sense both from a financial standpoint and also a safety standpoint.
Yeah.
We don't want to, sometimes it's not appropriate to pull a container, even if you can.
I don't know if you would know this. Well, let's talk about Ireland just quickly. Let's say I'm moving to Ireland. Where in the process do you first learn that I'm living in something that looks like a scene out of The Hobbit, where there's no way to get a moving truck directly there? When do you learn this? Very early on in the process, right?
No, not usually. No.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, we know where we're going to probably pick up everything on the U.S. side. And again, I'm assuming we're talking about an export move. We do import moves too. But I know where things are from, where they're going to come. And if the client doesn't, that's a red flag. So we quickly know how we're going to need to do this pretty quickly. We got Google Earth. We got all the different things. We can go physically take a look, etc.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, in a lot of cases. And then, but on the other side, I'd say about 60, 70 or so % of our clients, at the time of pickup, they don't know what their new address is going to be. It's very common. They don't have a place yet. If they do, they're building a home, and so they know where it's going to be. But very, very often, I hear it just constantly is, don't know where we're going to be. And I say, okay, but it's in this particular area. Maybe they're moving to, Sussex, England. So it may not be, but it may not be Sussex, but it's going to be around there, right? It's not going to be, up in Wales or anything, is it? No. So then we know, but we don't know what the physical precise destination is. So we won't know until the client does tell us. And at that time, we have to make the evaluation. So that's a little vague, but nothing we can do about it. We don't know where it's going. We don't know where it's going.
Yeah. I didn't think, for some reason, I'm just assuming that everybody would have all the logistics of the destination already in place and just be giving you like addresses. This is going to be our new, but I guess that makes sense. A lot of times the actual property isn't prepared yet, or the apartment isn't going to be ready for the full load to be delivered. So there are storage solutions and all of that, like we had talked about before.
Right.
You don't have to sweat like, oh my gosh, where are my things going to go?
We just put them in our storage, hang on to them. It's all secure and all that. But yeah, it happens all the time. My house is listed. I got a cash offer. We're foreclosing in 30 days. So I need everything out of the house.
Yeah.
So I'm moving but I don't know where I'm moving to at this moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
And SDC does have the emergency storage solutions, right? In just about every location that you're
Yeah,
going to.
it's not even emergency storage. It's, that's part of what we do is, very, because it's so common to store things. And we can store things, by the way, either in the US for an export move now,
Yeah.
in the US, or we can store things in Ireland or in, south of France or,
Yeah.
we have options.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's good to know. So there's a contingency in place for the unexpected, in other words.
Yeah. 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 The unexpected, because it's just fairly common.
Yeah. What do you think the number one concern is today in 2024 for the average person? Is it the timing of how long is it going to take to get from here to there? Is it the price
Mhm.
or
It really depends on the client. I think that the number one concern for most people who are exporting, exporting their items from the United States to insert country name here is going to be um, quality of the move. And what I mean by that is things aren't going to get broken, lost,
yeah,
damaged, just a nightmare. If anyone goes online, they can say, type in international moving nightmares, and you'll see things. I mean,
yeah,
um, the company that they went with really doesn't know what they're doing. They may not even be a company. They're a broker looking to find some other company that'll do it. Meanwhile, they went and picked everything up. It's being stored at some ridiculous rate. And, well, we need more money because we can't actually get it to your place. And, oh, you want us to redeliver it to you? Okay, well, we still need more money because now we're doing, So basically, I guess that is under the umbrella of getting scammed, or
yeah,
there's
yeah,
just been some logistical nightmare that
yeah,
just causes huge problems. So that is probably number one for
yeah,
most clients. Probably the most common one. Related to that, of course, is the quality.
yeah,
Can my things really go from point A to point B in another country without these huge problems? Yeah, it's just smooth. I have other things to think about. If I can just put that aside, and then of course, price is always a concern.
yeah,
But again, at the end of the day, they have all these folks. I hear about it all the time. People, like I said, the viewers can Google international moving and shipping nightmares and see what's out there. And anyone can quote a low price, get that money, get the goods, the household goods and personal effects, and then who knows?
yeah.
Yeah,
Surprises happen.
it gets stored in someone's barn somewhere because that's not really a company and they didn't really have any storage. It's in the
Yeah.
barn now. It's all moldy or something,
Oh boy.
and they can't. And 9 months later, it still hasn't shipped. You know,
Yeah.
but
I was just thinking about that because I can't tell you the last two times I flew by plane, it was just a nightmare because our luggage was misplaced and
oh
somebody
really?
had to drive it out to us like the next day. This happened like the last two times I was flying. Our luggage disappeared. And it's not cheap as it is to bring the luggage out there, so it's kind of like not a good feeling when
Oh
you're thinking, well, they should have a system worked out. They do this every day, and then suddenly your luggage is gone. Nobody can find it,
yeah.
and you have to hold your breath. Nothing I've ever had lost was lost permanently, but it kind of puts a damper on your
When you lose
getaway.
all of your clothes and shoes and underwear for 5 days, oh, but it wasn't lost permanently. I don't care.
Yeah,
I had to replace everything. We could get really off track on that subject. But I used to fly 2 or 3 times a week for many years,
yeah,
and back in the old days, it seemed like the system wasn't that good. They'd lose luggage all the time. Gosh,
yeah,
I haven't had it happen in a long time now, but I remember once. The airlines will tell you, "Oh, we've got it. You're going to get it first thing in the morning, 7 a.m." Oh,
yeah,
great! Then I won't go shopping. I'm not bringing you anything. He's standing there, and then I have to go to a meeting, in the boardroom with a
uh,
pair of jeans and a white T-shirt with a ketchup stain on it. No, I don't have any clothes. I had one experience where this went on. They said, "Oh, we're going to bring it to you in Chicago. Don't you worry." that exact scenario with the ketchup stain. Went to the meeting, finally get him on the phone. Where are you going next? Well, I'm going to Grand Rapids, Michigan. Okay. We're going to bring it to you. We got you. Same exact situation. Now where you go? Well, I'm going to here, Detroit. Now I'm going to Cleveland. Well, I'm going home to Cleveland, so forget about it. 30 days later, someone at a different airline calls me and says, hey,
Yeah.
are you missing a bag? Because I got a bag with your name and number on it. Like,
Yeah.
and I went and picked it up. Anyway, that's getting off track, but you reminded me of it.
I have to say, I'm sure people that are watching can relate to this. I was almost tempted the next time I went on a plane to just pack all my things and ship them by UPS or something like that,
I've done that.
overnight them instead of put them on the plane. At least I know the chances of them getting there would have been a little better.
Yeah, I've definitely done that. But nowadays, I think I just travel so light. Like, I don't care.
Yeah,
You know, you don't have to wear suits anymore. You know, you can kind of be a little more casual. And so I just find a way to put it in a carry-on bag. And I know I'm okay.
yeah. Well,
Anyway,
Rob, as always, great talk. Thanks for the information, and I got a much better picture now about the live load, the double handling, and
yeah,
how that process breaks down. We'll put your number on the screen so that anyone who's wants to reach out to you and get started in the process, I know you'll be a great help to them. But
absolutely. Absolutely.
all right, great. So I guess we'll see you next week. And for those watching, if you want to share the link, like the video, get the word out there. For those interested in international moving, Rob, myself, we talk about it every week. And we hope to see you all in the next video.
All right, Jim. See you next week.
All right, see you, Rob.